and welcome to Pop and Heat, episode 25. I'm Kier.
And I'm Leash, and welcome to your new favorite wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 25.
We hadn't really talked about it, but it's kind of a big deal.
It is, until we just said it.
Yeah.
Although we come up with a reason why every episode number is exciting.
That's true, we do.
Yeah.
For pretty much any reason we get excited.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, right? It is 25?
Yeah, it is 25. Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's right.
All right. Well, hey,
I know.
quarter of 100.
A quarter of 100.
Yep.
That's what they say.
Sorry.
That's what they say.
Quarter centennial episode.
25 years.
No. All right, let's move on.
Okay. Welcome to Pop and Heat.
Welcome back, everybody.
Here we are. A big weekend to recap. We had a PLE Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I like Saturday night's main event. It's fun. They do a little retro touches.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Jesse Ventura's there. That's pretty retro.
Yeah, that's true.
Antique-like.
What's our ring announcer's name there?
Mm.
Ooh, what is it? We know her. We love her.
Oh, Samantha?
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Garcia.
Yes. Anyways, she was there. She hasn't been doing, she's kind of like part-time now, I guess, but she's doing some PLEs, but she was all glammed up because it's Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, I was surprised. Lillian Garcia is her name.
Yes.
And I didn't know that she was coming back for these. When I mentioned it, you said that was a thing. I didn't realize.
I did read when she wasn't going to be the main ring announcer anymore that she would still be part-time. So, back for the PLEs, which is pretty cool. And as I said, in Saturday night main event style, she was all glammed up, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, Friday Night Smackdown was on my birthday, May 23rd.
Yep. We had fun.
We did have a lot of fun.
Posted a video.
Yeah.
It was also Bray Wyatt's birthday.
Yeah, that comes in as an important tidbit of information later on.
Yeah. I probably knew at some point that you guys shared a birthday, but I didn't remember.
I felt like we had discussed it before, but in the moment, I did not remember.
Yeah.
So
pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Friday Night Smackdown starts out with a promo. Tiffany Stratton, and she gets interrupted by Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. This was pretty funny. She calls them vintage.
Yeah. You guys are the old models and I'm the new improved.
Yeah. And then she goes, and it will always be Tiffy time.
Yeah, as long as she's the champ.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of goes without saying.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
We had a few promos that were sort of extremely obvious.
Yeah.
Like things were being said that everybody already knows.
Yeah. That's okay, though.
We'll get to that.
I liked it anyway. I like this kind of, they're really doing a young and, I was going to say young and old, and then it felt offensive in the moment. A younger generation and previous generation thing between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, they've really been working that angle, or at least Tiffy has.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure Charlotte's really tried to draw a ton of attention to it, but Tiffy does often.
So from that, we roll right into a Money in the Bank qualifier match. That's with Julia, Charlotte Flair, and Zelina Vega. Julia wins this match and qualifies for Money in the Bank. I do not think we thought that was what was going to happen.
No, I mean, I know they like to give a good push to these NXT peeps when they come up, as they should. You know, you don't want to bring them up and make them look bad, but I didn't think that they were going to put her over on Charlotte. I mean, that just, to me, seemed crazy.
Well, especially since the promo right before it was Alexa Bliss, who is already qualified for Money in the Bank, and Tiffany Stratton, who is a title holder. They have this whole three-way promo with Charlotte. So I was thinking, there's no way Charlotte doesn't win this Money in the Bank thing. And then they pushed Julia through. So it was kind of strange.
We both thought it was obviously going to be Charlotte. And once again, Triple H, you got us.
Leaving you guessing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate this. We've now got both of the new NXT girls in Money in the Bank. So, they're definitely getting a good push right out of the gate.
For sure.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Um, Wonder what they're going to do with Charlotte now, though.
I don't know. That's the whole thing. I don't know where that story is going now. I felt like the obvious thing was Money in the Bank. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I mean, maybe they're going to continue to pursue the Charlotte Tiffy thing because, I mean, Money in the Bank isn't necessarily like a showdown. I mean, you're not supposed to know when it's being cashed in, right? So
I guess that's right. It because that's an existing feud, it does make maybe her cash in a little more obvious. So it's not as exciting to play with that storyline as it would be to give Money in the Bank to somebody who you don't know who they're going to cash in on.
And, as far as the Tiffy and Charlotte goes, I feel like they kind of blew it for WrestleMania. So maybe they want another kick at that can to get it right.
Yeah.
I mean, it ended on a pretty crap note.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yep.
We'll see.
All right. We got to move on. We're doing quick recaps here.
Let's go.
Next, we had Chris Sabin versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, not one that was getting me super excited.
No. Interestingly, though, Candice LeRae comes out with Ciampa and Gargano. She's part of that faction now.
I think she's with one of them, right?
I think we figured out that it was Gargano,
Yeah,
Johnny Gargano, but
married.
yeah. So, anyways, that's interesting. So there's a distraction from Johnny Gargano, and then Candice LeRae attacks Chris Sabin, and Tommaso Ciampa ends up winning this match. But yeah, interesting little, addition to their tag team. They're now a little faction with Candice LeRae.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay. I don't hate them, but that tag team division, it's not getting me going.
And now Nia Jax needs a new helper elf.
Right. Yeah. Poor Nia.
Yeah.
Losing all her helper elves.
She is. They're turning on her. They're abandoning her for other factions. Oh, Nia.
You got to pay better, Nia.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we had the Secret Hervis versus Michin and B-Fab.
Here's another one that
I like the Secret Hervis. Michin and B-Fab.
Yeah. I mean, the Secret Hervis is all right. Not as exciting when it's not Chelsea. That's sort of the main thing,
right? Yeah.
For me, anyways. I dig Chelsea.
It's their whole point of his existence is Chelsea Green. So.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not trying to be rude here. And again, this comes down to character development. I'm not putting her down, but Michin's character for me it just doesn't hit.
No,
there's
agree,
not much about it that makes me think back. Ooh, I can't wait to see that again. Like no.
Or B-Fab for that matter, but
yeah,
I don't
same deal.
feel like they put B-Fab. Michin is occasionally, in backstage promo type stuff and still not super interesting. B-Fab, I don't feel like she doesn't generally have many lines in anything.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not their fault. It's what they're given, but
exactly.
Anytime Michin's on the screen, it feels a little forced for me. It just doesn't feel natural what they're trying to do with her.
Yeah, totally.
Not into it.
No. Next, we had Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo. I'm still confused by that name. Versus Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix.
Yeah, this was
weird little
kind of throw together match, right? I didn't hate it. I'm a Jimmy Uso fan. I'm getting really tired of seeing him lose, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So in this match, JC Mateo hits his finisher on Jimmy Uso and wins. So
Tour of Islands, which I have sort of dubbed Rockabye Baby.
Yeah.
It's
Why
just
a
good little cradle, and then
like a baby,
rock, and yeah. It's really not much more than that. It's silly to me that they are thinking people are going to buy that would, end these superstars. Like, that's crazy. Come on.
It's a weird move.
It's not close to any of the average moves that are
happens in slow-mo too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, On to bigger and better things. We had an R-Truth promo on John Cena. Nothing super new in this, more of the same from R-Truth, and obviously just promo for their upcoming match. But I mean, as I've been saying, this kind of built up this thing where you're rooting for R-Truth as like this innocent fan of John Cena. So that's kind of the essence of everything he's saying. If he has to beat the loyalty, hustle, respect back into John Cena, he'll do that because he misses his hero.
Yeah. And, that's all real sweet. But as much as people were clapping, I thought, every one of you who's clapping knows damn well he ain't going to win.
No.
There isn't a wrestling fan alive that thought R-Truth was going to win that match. It was entertaining. R-Truth comes out with the Ron Cena shirt to John Cena's music, and there's a lot of laughs, as you'd expect from R-Truth, and he gets the better of Cena for a little bit and hits him with his own moves.
Well, that was the next night. This is Smackdown still. This was just a promo for that match.
Fuck.
That's okay.
Sorry.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
When
I got excited.
When you're recording.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, though. That's just a preview.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm such a spoiler.
Next, we had LA Knight versus Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. This was a men's Money in the Bank qualifier match. LA Knight wins this. Well, he kind of tosses Aleister Black out of the ring and then very quickly pins Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, well, takes advantage of that Black Mask kick.
Yeah.
And steals the win from Aleister.
Basically, yeah.
And looks at him as he's walking away like, meh.
Yeah.
Money in the bank.
I like that. I liked as he was very confident walking out like, sorry.
Yeah.
So
it was a little bit of a shock. I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm not shocked that LA Knight won. I was a little surprised that Aleister Black isn't continuing to get his push.
Yeah.
I would have thought that, LA Knight's big enough that he can kind of go without.
Yeah.
I thought Aleister Black could probably, pursue a decent storyline with this, but such is not the case.
I see that path, but I like LA Knight. Keep pushing him.
I know you
Make
do.
him bigger and bigger. I like him. Next we have the Street Profits versus Phyraxium. This was a tag title match. This one was pretty exciting. We had some outside interference from DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. And as we alluded to earlier at the beginning of the recap, lights go out.
Yep.
And we're like, holy moly.
We were excited. And we have some friends that are new to wrestling and they hadn't seen any of this happen yet. So when the lights come up and the Wyatt Sicks are standing in the ring, we were pretty damn excited about it.
Oh my gosh, so excited. I've been so pumped for this. I just, I said it we posted a TikTok about it and I said it on there too in some of the comments with people, but I just feel like this was such an exciting thing last year. I've said before, I like the mystical stuff that goes on sometimes in WWE, the really, big characters, and they don't do a lot of that anymore. So last year, the Wyatt Sicks buildup was really great, and then they kind of let it fall off and it didn't go anywhere. So I think a lot of people are feeling like that's kind of dead in the water. And I'm still super hopeful that they can bring it back because it's a thing I'm excited about.
Well, they're definitely trying, it seems, which is good. And, the Alexa Bliss connection hopefully will happen at some point and really light fire to it. I would think. I mean, they have to. Right?
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah, she's got to be a part of it at some point. I feel like most people feel that way. If they don't move in that direction, I think it'll be very surprising to a lot of people.
To everyone, yeah. So the Wyatt Sicks are in the ring and they just proceed to beat the shit out of everybody.
Everybody, yeah. Which you said, you're like, what was the point? Why are they beating up all these people? There was no reason given. But I suggested that maybe, as we've said before, tag team division needs a little pump up.
Don't hate this.
And they're a faction. They are, they have ample people to join the tag team division. So maybe it's starting, feuds there for them to join some tag matches.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think it's going to be a lot more exciting with them around. And again, hopefully they stick around and stay relevant and keep juicy stories building around them because they're too good not to. Like, let's go.
And at the end, they blew out a candle. That was for Bray Wyatt's birthday, but at the time we did not know it was his birthday, and I thought it was for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty special.
It was.
Funny stuff.
And that, friends, was SmackDown.
Yeah.
So next,
you're not going to believe what happens in the John Cena or Truth match, folks.
Let's roll in to Saturday Night Main Event, which we already had some spoilers for.
I'm sorry. I got excited. And it's a lot. We got 3 episodes to recap here.
Here's dying inside that he did that.
Oh, yeah. Big time. It's killing me that I screwed that up. I don't like to make mistakes. And with the video, you can't really edit that stuff out. So, I mean, we're living with it. This is happening, folks. Yeah. You got to see me fuck up, okay? Hopefully it won't happen too often, but it happened. So
is what it is.
We're living with it. Moving on.
Saturday Night Main Event. This was on May 24th. We opened the show with CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Little tag team match here, brawling right from the start. We get Paul Heyman interferes and surprise interference, Bronson Reed joining the Seth Rollins faction.
Yeah. Bronson takes out CM Punk outside the ring, allows the other guys to get the better of Sammy, and it's over.
Yeah.
And this faction is giving me NWO vibes right now.
Yeah, totally. You were saying that, and that makes sense for sure.
And again, I don't hate that. I'm all about this Seth Rollins thing. I like Seth Rollins. I don't really care what he's doing as long as he's in a prominent story, and this is pretty damn prominent. And again, I get super NWO vibes here. I just feel like more and more people are going to keep joining this faction and make it this sort of thing that is almost unstoppable.
Yeah. I think so too. I'm excited about it. I think it's great storytelling. I think this group that they've put together so far is really good. And they're putting some people that didn't necessarily have a story, Braun Breaker, for instance, great wrestler. And interesting that we had been saying for a few months, Paul Heyman's working with him now behind the scenes to get, his promo game up and everything. And now obviously it all makes sense, but he has a good place, a good storyline now to be a part of. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think the teaming of Heyman with him is a really good idea. I thought it was going to lend itself to Breaker becoming a lot better on the mic, but now he doesn't talk at all.
No, that's true.
So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. What we do know is that they're getting very bronzed in the process.
Oh my gosh.
Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker are,
bronzed Breaker.
Bronzed Breaker. They're single-handedly financing all of the self-tanner in the world.
Oh my gosh. It's epic. And I mean, Heyman's always sweating, so you see the dark bead of sweat running down his face. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Our pals over in Rock and Wrestling Reviews were commenting on it. And
they were look at the neck to cheek ratio. There's just
and she had said I'm not even sure if it's voluntary at this point, you know? Oh my God, it was great.
Yeah, consensual, I think was the word she used. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, that's hilarious. Every time he seems to just get, Paul Heyman especially, gets more and more orange every time we see him.
So. Yeah, he's a bit Oompa Loompa-ish.
Yeah, that's right. So Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker win that match. Next, we go into Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. This was the women's U.S. title match. Chelsea Green, big power bomb to Zelina Vega on the floor, but Zelina Vega got her back.
No kidding.
Botch 619, and Chelsea Green comes up face a bleeding.
Yeah. So, yeah, she misses the initial kick for the 619 and then goes to give her another little one and boots her right in the nose, busts it right open. Oh, man, it was gross.
So we assume there's a broken nose in there.
Chelsea really mucked that up too. Like, it was great. She was making the most of it, just like screaming with the blood all over her face.
She's so great. She's
fantastic.
So great. She's one of these people that's like, you could call her a supporting character, but she is also the star of the show. Like, she is just wonderful.
She had said she wanted to be like somebody else. Was it The Miz?
Yeah, The Miz. She said.
So
she's like, I have no interest in being the big star. She's like, I want to be, the person that's making people laugh and building up the storylines.
Right. And I mean, you can't argue with that. The Miz is approaching the record for longest tenure.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Longest consecutive.
It's likely a great formula, like you can, when you're the biggest star, there's somewhere to fall. And if you're getting no attention at all, obviously you're just kicked off the roster. So that steady, flow of making people like you is a good place to be in.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to be as comedically gifted as she is.
No, exactly.
And to be as good a wrestler as she is. I mean, she's no joke in the ring. No. She's earned her stripes. Like, she's awesome.
Yeah, we love her. So Zelina Vega does end up beating a bleeding Chelsea Green and retains her belt.
Yeah, and you got to think that kind of shuts down that storyline now.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens with Chelsea and her secret Hervis now?
Yeah. Yeah, this was supposed to be her second term.
Can't wait to see how that develops.
We'll see. Next we had John Cena versus R-Truth. Here, what happened in this match?
All right. Well, folks,
yeah.
R-Truth for a bit there really got the better of Cena. Hit him with a whole bunch of his own moves, but they were not successful.
No. Nope.
Cena ends up turning things around, hits him with the attitude adjustment.
Yep.
And it's over. But it wasn't, because we had a
post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack. Yeah. So Cena attacks R-Truth post-match with his title belt. Smashes him in the face with it.
Yeah, and you had said you thought that Cena was going to lay just a brutal beating on him and really kind of get the crowd hating him more.
Yeah, you were like, here it comes. I think you're right.
So it looked like that's what was going to happen. Yeah. I thought you'd nailed the prediction, but he just hit him with the belt after the match and then walked away.
Yeah. But I still think it evoked what I predicted, which was that they were using this R-Truth thing as, he's supposed to be like he has such an endearing, innocent quality to him. And he's supposed to be like the John Cena super fan, his quote unquote childhood hero.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like, even R-Truth, like John Cena's even turning on R-Truth, the most lovable, funny guy.
Well, and they had a moment in the match where Cena looked like he was going to hit him with the belt.
Yeah,
right?
He's like,
he stops, and it looks like he's having this moment of like, oh,
and R-Truth's like, doing? Yeah, I got through to him.
Yeah. Nope.
No, he didn't. So Cena wins, which we knew would happen.
Yeah, us and everyone else that watches wrestling.
All the WWE universe.
Yeah.
Okay, next we had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a steel cage match.
Well, before that, do you want me to spoil anything else?
Oh. Yeah. Just jump right into Raw right in the middle of this.
To talk about something in the middle of Raw. It'd be great.
No.
All right. We'll stay on track.
Let's go with the sketch. Okay. So both of them, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, during this, using a chair as a weapon. Drew McIntyre surviving multiple finishers by Damian Priest. Ultimately, Damian Priest does win, serving quite an attack on Drew McIntyre, and he walks out of the cage for the win. No pin.
Yeah. I mean, this was a big moment for Damian Priest, I would say.
I love it. We both thought Drew McIntyre would win this.
Well, yeah.
I said I was going with the smart prediction this time.
Yeah.
Predicting Drew McIntyre. And then my fave, Damian Priest, won the match.
I don't think there's smart or otherwise when it comes to WWE these days. Like, you just can't predict.
No,
right?
which
Like,
I like that.
It's everywhere. And I mean, this for me, I was just blown away. First of all, it was a hell of a match. The two guys just beat the crap out of each
Yeah.
other. Tons of finishers and just a really good match. And again, just Damian staying with it through the match with a guy like that, I think just really builds his character. Like, Damian Priest is no joke.
No.
You're able to go the distance with McIntyre like that, like you're for real.
Yep.
And I mean, McIntyre used the chair against Priest and it didn't get him the win. And then Priest ends up doing a concerto, I think they called it.
Yeah, that is, the concerto.
Right? Puts his face on the chair and then smashes him from the top. I mean, it looks pretty rough.
Yeah.
Hard to do that one and not cause some kind of damage, I would think, without it. If you're going to make it look any kind of real.
Yeah. Gonna ring his bell.
And he did. And as you say, walks out of the ring, much to Jesse Ventura's dismay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was like, what kind of crap is this? He wins the match by walking out of the cage. He did not like that detail.
It felt genuine that he just did not know that was going to, he was just like, what?
This is trash. How did he win this way?
It was great.
Yeah, he did not like that there was no pin.
I'm pretty sure that I remember cage matches being able to be won by walking out the door when I was a kid, which would have been Jesse Ventura time. So I like, because I think he was saying like, oh, we couldn't win a match like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you could have. He probably just doesn't remember. But, to win that way, you have to incapacitate your opponent so they can't stop you from doing it. I mean, it still requires being awesome.
Yeah. Yep. I thought it was awesome. I thought he kind of leaves Drew McIntyre destroyed in the middle of the ring and then walks out like confidently and triumphantly. I thought it was a great way to win the match.
Yeah. As I say, one of the bigger moments for Priest, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. Next we had Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight title match. Yeah, during this, we get John Cena. He comes out, pulls the ref out of the ring, and serves quite an attack on Jey Uso mid-match.
Yeah, and we had seen a promo with, with him talking about, wouldn't it be wild if I left with the belt and the YouTuber had the other one?
John Cena and Jey Uso backstage, yeah.
So I kind of had a feeling he might get involved in some way, but I had also predicted in our last episode that Jey was going to win, but not clean.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be a clean finish because I didn't think that they would give Jey that over Logan Paul, and I wasn't wrong about that.
Yeah.
I think they want to make Logan look pretty tough, and a lot of people don't buy Jey as the super tough guy. I didn't think that they were going to give him a clean win over Logan Paul. It took some interference.
Yeah.
And it took some interference from QB1.
Oh,
my boy.
Okay. Cody Rhodes is back in the game.
That's right. Cena, you go putting your nose in things that you shouldn't.
Yeah. And this was pretty cool because it does tease a tag match setup for Money in the Bank with Logan Paul and John Cena versus.
It's not teased. It's announced.
Well, yeah, it is. Sorry. But
yeah.
Teased the fact that it's going to happen, little
which we weren't happy about. This was not good news
for our overall predictions.
Yeah, I wanted Cody to win Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And be the guy to take the belt back from Cena just when he thinks he's walking out with it. Not so fast. Quarterback's here. He's taking his ball. You're going home.
Yeah.
So that's obviously not going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do with this, how they're going to get the belt back on to Cody, but they will.
Yeah. 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 Throws our whole, roadmap of what we thought was going to happen for a loop, but was entertaining, and we're certainly happy to have Cody Rhodes back in the mix.
Big time. He's my guy.
And that was Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, pretty good show. I had seen a lot of things where people were saying overall they hadn't been happy with Saturday Night Main Event so far, but this one seemed to change a lot of opinions, or at least people were feeling a lot different about this one.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So then we have Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
May 26th.
This was another good one.
It was, yeah. It was a good weekend, all in all, I think.
I gotta say this though, and I don't want to be rude again. I feel like I say that like 3 times an episode.
Yeah,
I'm rude, apparently.
The point of a podcast is to be opinionated. We certainly can't keep apologizing for all of our opinions.
I guess, right? Yeah. It's very Canadian of us, apparently.
Sorry.
But yeah, we're just sorry for everything. I didn't love the crowd for these shows. They were all at the Yingling Center, and there's like max capacity of 8,000 people in this place. I don't think they had full 8,000 each night. The crowd just wasn't popping or heating. Like there just wasn't enough of anything for me. Like there was some, and we'll get to a little bit of that later, but it just for me fell flat. I would be weary of going back to this place for a while. This crowd, I don't know. I thought maybe there's too many kids there and they don't pop the same way or boo the same way as adults.
Totally could be, yeah.
But it just, it didn't hit the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there were definitely some big moments. Some of the big moments got a reaction, but I think overall, comparatively with some of the other locations they go to, it wasn't the same kind of pop. But
nope.
Yeah. But like you said, also a much smaller crowd, so that definitely plays into it.
But then I always think about those European crowds at like 7,000 or 8,000 people that make noise like they're 40.
That's a whole different level, though. I mean, the Europeans, they go wild for the wrestling, you know?
They sure do.
Monday Night Raw opens with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman, all new faction members together. Heyman hyping up Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins delivers his kind of promo spiel. This was kind of weird. He's talking about how he's going to win Money in the Bank, and he's explaining how Money in the Bank works as if somehow that's something he's doing that's special. Like, I'm going to win Money in the Bank and I'm going to cash it in when I want to, and nobody's going to stop me. And we're like,
yeah,
this
is one of those obvious promos I was talking about where it's like, yeah, we know that's the thing about Money in the Bank. He's like, yeah, but so like the thing about this one is I'm going to do, nobody's going to know what I'm going to do.
No one can stop me.
Like everyone else, you know, except for Drew McIntyre, who basically just announced, I'm going to win. Then I'm going to come in that match at the end of the night and I'm going to cash in and win.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did that, but CM Punk foiled his plan.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, that was interesting. And Seth Rollins was set for a Money in the Bank qualifying match later in the night to start his plan. So,
yeah, going up against Sami Zayn again.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the other one in that one? Finn Balor.
I don't know yet because I'm not there in my notes.
Oh, well, I'm just saying who is in the match. I'm not spoiling anything. It was just these are the people that are going to be in the match you just mentioned.
Not a stickler for the schedule,
man. Holy, see what I'm working with here, folks? Jeez, it's a dictatorship.
Yeah, I've got a lot to remember over here with my notes, okay? So you can't have me jumping all over the place.
It's funny. I say to people all the time, I'm like, I just show up and talk. She does everything else. Like everything you see, it's all her.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here fucking shit up. I'm sorry.
No. We're a team. Okay. Next we had a Money in the Bank qualifier, a different one, with Penta, Dragon Lee, and Chad Gable. Vikingo, is that his name? Did I say it right?
Nailed it.
Nice. He interferes, attacks Chad Gable. They're scheduled he's from AAA, from the Luchadors, and they're scheduled for a match at Worlds Collide, I think is what it's called.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, so that's kind of drumming up some stuff for their feud. But yeah, so he interferes, and that allows Penta to win and qualify. The thing I will say about this match is that the entire match, there was some crazy moves happening, and Kira and I were like, everyone is breaking their necks in this match. Like, we were having a hard time watching it. We're like, Chad Gable gets dropped on his face
Like,
at one point.
literally his face.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody's getting flipped onto the back of their necks. We're like, what's happening? All these people are coming out of this paralyzed.
yeah, it was nuts. I mean,
Stressful.
I get that in this day and age with wrestling, the bar is so high that they have to try crazy new things all the time. And when you're Penta, I mean, you're probably feeling like, oh my gosh, every week I got to try something new.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every
down.
Penta match, I feel like someone's going to die. Like, this guy is a loose cannon. I feel like he's somewhat reckless. Like, that Mexican destroyer is a super sketchy move. Like, I'm not trying to spoil the fun here, folks. I like a good beat up as much as anybody, but I mean, if we're doing this, for story, like I think we're taking a lot of risks out there.
Yeah. Either he's extremely reckless or he is doing all things right to make it look extremely real.
Well, that's it. And we talk about that too, where like the best part about it is when they make us think that they've screwed up and it's real.
We're like, all these people died during this match.
They're blurring lines. Oh, they're off script now. They really hate each other and they're saying terrible things.
I think it was this match where I was like, well, Chad Gable's dead. He died.
Yeah.
He died. Like, there's no way. And then 2 seconds later, you see him moving and up, and you're like, okay, well, he's fine, I guess. But I don't know how.
Last week, JD McDonough, it was the same thing.
Oh,
like, how is he going to live through this?
Yeah.
Too much.
Especially because he has the injuries that happened not that long ago. So now we're more worried about the poor guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Penta going to Money in the Bank, which is great. Good for Penta because he is on quite a run.
So who's that now that's qualified for men's Money in the Bank? Where are we at with that?
I don't know.
Penta?
Yep.
LA Knight?
Yep.
I think there was another one, right? We're missing somebody else.
Well, there's someone later in this evening to come.
So that one is the third then? So that we're caught up then. There's only two.
Maybe.
Okay, because we had 3 women.
Yeah, I guess that's it. 3 women, 3 men. I don't know off the top of my head. We record with multi-devices, so it's very difficult for me to do this fact checking.
That's it. We didn't think about
show. Yeah, I know. We need a third, 4th device.
That's right. When we were just an audio show, we could fact check like crazy.
Yeah, we did lots of fact checks on the audio podcast, but a lot more difficult. We need to amp up our technology here.
Damn, we have to buy more toys.
Something here hates.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Okay, so next we had Liv Morgan returns.
Yeah.
Backstage. She walks in. She's like, "Konnichiwa, bitches."
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
She walks in on Dominic Mysterio with Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez offering her nuggies.
Yeah, Dom taking her nuggies.
Yeah, I think Carlito says that to her. Like, you got to stop trying to eat her nuggies, man.
Yeah, super funny.
Liv obviously not pleased with Roxanne Perez being around, hanging about.
Yeah, says no worries. Raquel's been filling me in on all the details of what's been happening. I'm gonna go get a match for Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And on her way to said conversation with Adam Pearce,
yes,
she runs into Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Yeah, hanging out in the hallway.
She starts talking a little smack about the belt that Io holds. Kairi didn't like it. Says, you and me tonight.
Match tonight. So
they down.
Have a match scheduled for later in the night. So she didn't make it to requesting Money in the Bank qualifier.
No, I guess not. We didn't see that, right?
She didn't get that
I hope
far.
she's still going to get that.
Then we roll right into a match with Rusev and Akira Tozawa for some reason.
Well, he's trying
Again?
to avenge Otis.
Yeah. Yeah, Rusev. Gotta leave these guys alone. Come on.
Well, this was Tozawa saying he wanted this match. He sought it out. He wanted to get, revenge for Otis, and somebody
such a
needs to
little
help him
guy.
make better decisions.
He's a little guy. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
But exciting thing about this, I mean, Rusev defeats Akira Tozawa. He dominates, okay?
Yeah, has him tap out in less
Easy
than
match.
a minute, I think.
But we get another post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Post-match attack. Super exciting. And that is Sheamus comes out to make the save.
Our Irish boy, Sheamus.
Yeah, and we get quite a bit of tension between Rusev and Sheamus. So I think Rusev is going to be moving his target in that direction.
Well, Sheamus stood toe-to-toe with him. They did a little bit of mouthing back and forth.
Yep.
No mics.
No.
And
was all for
Rusev
show.
backed down and walked away.
Yeah. I think there's more to come for that, for sure.
I would think, but definitely left Sheamus looking good in the ring, which is not usually a good sign pre-match, like it's not good to be the one prevailing in promos. Usually means the actual match is going to go the other way.
That's true. That's a good point.
But we're very early days for this stuff, so who knows?
Yeah. Next, we had a World Tag Team Championship triple threat match. So this was the New Day, the Creed Brothers, and the War Raiders. Nothing too crazy exciting here. The New Day retained their titles during this match. I don't know if you have. I didn't have too much to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, the War Raiders are okay. I usually at some point in their matches think, wow, like these guys move around pretty good for some big dudes. They really do have a lot of mobility. Creed Brothers, for me, the one guy's kind of funny in promos, the shorter of the two.
Is he the one that makes like a weird high pitched noise?
Yeah, he does his hyena laugh or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So,
right.
So it's Brutus and Julian, right? So is that their names?
I have no idea.
You'd think we would know this. We've never claimed to be experts. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's their name. But I don't really like them. They're kind of like watching paint dry for me.
Yeah.
The taller of the two is pretty strong. He does some strong stuff sometimes.
The taller one's they're just strong.
I think that's Julian.
Not exciting. We're moving on.
Yeah.
All right.
Super, super exciting stuff.
Sorry, guys. Next we had Gunther interrupting Jey Uso. So Uso starts to address the upcoming match, and Gunther interrupts him and vows to reclaim the World Heavyweight Championship. This is kind of standard promo exchange building towards their match. Both of them just at each other saying they're going to beat each other up.
Each says to the other they're going to make the other tap out.
Right, yes, because that's you tapped out. You tapped out.
So Gunther says, I'm going to choke the life out of you and make you tap out. And then Jay says, no, I'm going to make you tap again.
That's right, exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Cool if that's how the match ends.
I like Jey Uso gets a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain toughness with Gunther that he doesn't show elsewhere.
Sure. That's what they tried to do with Sami Zayn at last year's WrestleMania.
Sami Zayn
took the title.
Every man's wrestler.
But yeah, he can't really elevate from that spot that he's at.
I don't think so. But I love Sami Zayn.
He's friggin' awesome. Yeah. I like awesome. But if he becomes world champ at any point, it's going to be like his last run. You know?
Probably. Well, we never know. This is the thing.
I'm just guessing
we never know.
Because again, that's the writing that they give to him. If he gets it sooner or gets it more frequently, that's not going to upset me by any means. I love Sammy, but it just seems that that's the trajectory that he's on.
Right. Next, we had the previously announced Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane match. During this match, interesting little issues happening. More on Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, because Roxanne Perez comes out. She says she's trying to help Liv. Raquel Rodriguez jumps in there and starts kind of attacking her verbally. They're arguing back and forth. It causes a distraction, and then Kairi Sane gets the win on Liv Morgan, which I'm going to be honest is ridiculous, but it's because of the distraction, and it's teasing a lot more tension between Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan.
I think everybody thinks it's ridiculous, and that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like it's at one point Pat McAfee said in the match, like, could you imagine Kairi Sane getting the win on Liv Morgan? Like
and
wow,
she did,
giving her a lot of confidence there.
Yeah,
but that's the kind of year that Liv has had, though, right? Or the year and a half. Like we say it all the time. She's a star. So, but it's supposed to look like this never should have happened.
Right,
It's because of Roxanne. So that's going to now build the necessary tension there.
Which is fun. I like this feud. I like where it's going.
Yeah, me too. I love Dom. So like, let's have more Liv and Dom. I don't care why.
And more ladies fighting over Dom in his prime.
That's it. He's only going up. Ladies.
Yeah. Next we had a Lyra Valkyria promo. She's calling out Becky Lynch for getting title matches without earning them. Becky Lynch interrupts her, and their verbal exchange, battle of the wits, turns into a stipulation for their Money in the Bank match. If Becky loses, she cannot challenge for the Intercontinental title ever again, or can't challenge Lyra Valkyria for the IC title. And if Valkyria loses, she must raise Lynch's hand in victory.
I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Like Becky didn't win the Backlash match, so I'm pretty sure she's going to get this one.
Yeah, and I want Becky to, move on up. I love her. Healer face, I'm in.
You got to think she's going to take the Intercontinental belt. It's brand new belt. Like, why not give it to
She's
Becky?
held everything else, so.
She's a star, right?
Yeah.
I got to say, though, this promo between the two of them was a good one. They were really ripping at each other pretty good. I like
their promos. I think they work well together, Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch.
She said, Backlash, you may have won the match, whatever, one match. She's like, I won the night. I went home with my hot husband, and you went to the hospital with your weird little fiance. So good.
Lyra getting some good digs in there. I think if anything, like Becky Lynch is really elevating Lyra Valkyria in her promo game, and the talking parts that they have, the conversational stuff. Because Lyra didn't do too much of that before this feud. So.
We talked quite a bit about how she had so much potential.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, Lyra really is great in the ring. Like, every time I see her in the ring, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
This girl can wrestle. But she just was really lacking the charisma on the mic. And, I think this feud with Becky's really helping her.
Super cool.
And it doesn't stop there.
Yeah. Added some stakes to their rematch, which is cool.
Yeah.
Next and lastly, we had Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for a Money in the Bank qualifier match. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker coming in to help their faction.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah. To be predicted, this happened.
Yeah.
And they attack Sami Zayn, kept him kind of out of the ring. Jey Uso comes out to help.
Yeah, and Jey Uso, he does get the better of Reed and Breaker.
Super kicks all around.
Yeah, he's just popping them both back and forth, but then Breaker just smokes him with a spear.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of an insult too, right? Because that's an Uso move before Breaker was even around.
That's true. Braun Breaker has a great spear, though.
The best, the best spear in the game. I think everyone agrees with that.
Yeah. During all this ruckus outside the ring, Dominic Mysterio comes in.
My boy.
He throws a chair in the ring to try to help Finn Balor. But the chair gets used against Finn Balor as Seth stomps his face into it for the win.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty
you know,
fantastic.
finished him off for the win.
My guy gets the win, and my other guy was the one who helped him get the win. I don't know if Dom was actually meaning to help Finn or Seth, but I mean, it worked out in my favor.
Yeah. I think Dom's got some face vibes lately. I think he was trying to help, but Finn's not going to see it that way for sure. We also get a little post-match attack.
Post-match attack.
Because CM Punk returns.
Yeah, to quite the pop.
Yeah, big pop with the crowd. Attacks Rollins with a go to sleep. Gets chased out by, well, kind of, escapes before Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed can get over there. And
because they assumed that he was going to come down the main entrance, and they walk almost all the way out, leaving Seth in the ring by himself. So gives him time to hit him with the GTS and get away before they can come back.
And then he's standing in the crowd celebrating.
Yep.
And that's how our show ends.
Now, folks, I know there's a lot of CM Punk fans out there, and I mean, I am one of them. I just have to say, the GTS is a bit of a sloppy move. Like, it is nowhere near my fave. I think the execution of it, more times than not, doesn't look believable. And like, if it were to connect extremely well, as we're to believe that, it is every time, it would be a devastating move, dropping somebody down from an elevated height into your knee as it's coming up. I mean, that should cause some damage. But half the time you can just see like the knee's not hitting them in the face.
Yeah.
I like a move that looks like, holy crap, that should hurt, right?
Yeah.
Like a Penta driver.
Yeah. Like everyone's breaking their necks.
Yeah. Like Oblivion is a hell of a move, right?
Oblivion's
like
a great move. Yeah.
A rope sprung like DDT kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like super cool. Easy to pull off, not super dangerous, but looks effective. Like these types of moves. That's what people should have. For a wrestler of CM Punk's caliber, I just feel like the GTS is kind of sloppy.
Yeah, I agree. But when you get so deep into something and it becomes part of your gimmick, like how do you get away from it? That's the thing, I think.
That's it, for sure. I get it. I mean, at this point, there's no getting away from it.
No.
But I just, every time I see it, I'm like, come on. Come on.
All righty. Well, that was Monday Night Raw. And that'll bring us into our first segment.
Let's get into it. Top of the pop. Well, for me, it's going to be my boy, Cody.
Are you going with that? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think when his music hit, I think the pop was the biggest of the three nights for me. This is Backlash we're talking about here. Not Backlash. God damn it, I keep screwing up. Saturday Night Main Event.
You're having a night, eh?
Yeah, it's not my best. On episode 25, no less. Damn it.
See that. There was a lot of great pops this weekend. Wyatt Sicks was wild. Like,
oh, right.
Like, it was crazy. And then the fight's getting crazy. Okay, let me start. They appear first out of the dark. People go crazy. Okay. People are doing, this is awesome, as things are getting heated. Then people are doing, holy shit, as things get exciting. And then people are just screaming like mad at the end. Then you've got all the fireflies out. I mean, I thought it was crazy. I think that's hard to beat.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my night, It's just not. But you're probably right.
Cody Rhodes did get a big pop, though. CM Punk got a big pop. There was other huge pops that normally would have taken it. But I think, every time we get a surprise return from somebody, usually it's a pretty big pop.
Yeah. And nobody was expecting CM Punk. So literally all three of those other ones were.
That's right. Yeah, they were all surprises. Yeah. So.
Oh, well. Let's get after it.
Oh, well, you're so upset.
Yeah. I failed you folks.
No.
Episode 25. Just, I got
It's
too
good.
excited and just
Yeah. Your enthusiasm is great.
Meltdown.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, you're getting some character from me tonight.
Yeah, that's true. You get to know us. This is the real us. We're real people.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, let's move into our next segment.
Let's do it.
You suck.
Hottest of the heat.
Hottest of the heat.
I like Cena, but
Yeah.
I like Cena not as much for his match, but for his interference in the Jey Uso match.
Yeah, when he pulled the ref
Lot
out,
of
starts
heat for that.
beating on Jey Uso. I would agree. I think that was a lot of heat, and I would go with that one.
And again, there's always your standards, your Logan Paul and your
Yeah, Logan gets
New
lots of heat.
Day. Like, there were some other.
Yeah, honorable mentions.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
Well, we got one more segment to do here.
That's right. Here we go. The social. Social.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Got a few
feels
things.
great.
It feels great. I like when it goes
I like-
off without a hitch.
It's nice to do a duet with you,
Yeah, I don't sing much, so. Okay, the social. First of all, reports that Stephanie Vaquer. Why do I want to say that wrong every time?
Yeah, you're trying to put a little fancy.
Vaquer.
No, it's. I think it's Vaquer.
No, I think it's Vaquer, but I do want to say Vaquer.
Oh. Who knows?
I don't know. Now I'm confused. Now I
Steffi
don't
V.
know. Okay, Steffi V and Jordan Grace are moving to the main roster.
I think they should.
An interesting tidbit I read when I read this was that apparently Stephanie V, when she was originally brought into WWE, was offered a main roster spot right away and apparently turned it down because she wanted to go to NXT first to work on her English and work on her promo skills and learn American style wrestling. So a little bit better. So I thought that was pretty cool. If that's true, it was in an article that I read, but I think that's a neat approach, a humble approach for sure.
I think it's great. I think it shows that, she's committed to doing the best that she can. And
Yeah.
you got to like that if you're her employer, right?
For sure, yeah.
It's pretty great.
And yeah, these are not surprising moves to the main roster, I don't think. Stephanie has been in and out in the past month of main roster shows, and she's extremely popular, and she's been a champ on NXT. And Jordan Grace is a monster. So
Yeah, I mean, big.
literally,
Yeah. The one that I'm really surprised that hasn't come up yet, and I mean, this is, no shock to you that I'm going to say this, Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
Like, this girl does some of the coolest moves anyone's
We don't
ever
even watch NXT, okay? The only things I know about NXT are things that I get on social media, like clips and stuff. But I see clips of her all the time, and I'm obsessed just from the clips. Like, I really want her to come up to main roster.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. I would think she'd steal the show. And I mean, maybe there's something to that, right? Maybe it's that she's too good. She's
Yeah.
going to steal thunder from others that they need to keep spotlight on. Maybe they don't want to take something that great away from NXT. Maybe the brand really depends on her. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. She's a recent champ in NXT,
Yeah.
so they may keep her in that spot for a while before she moves up. But I like her. I hope they bring her up. Next on the social, Natty's birthday.
Yeah. Rented a yacht.
Yeah.
Had some friends.
Pretty cool. Ladies of WWE were abound on this yacht. Saw some photos of it. Anybody passing that yacht would have been in their glory. To name a few, we had Maxine Dupree, Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Bailey, Scarlett, and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wicked time, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So I think that was probably a fun party. So happy birthday, Natty. We love you too.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
Little Frosty the Snowman.
Next on the social, WrestleMania 42. Now we all believe to be in Vegas.
Seems so, yeah.
Little bit of a, I guess, smart business choice, sucky choice for anybody that wanted to see anywhere else in the world. Still unconfirmed dates. Allegiant Stadium already, I guess, has something pretty big booked for WWE's preferred dates, so they're still working on when it can even actually happen. So
it's just wild to me that they could be less than a year out and not have a plan.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
I guess that's what comes with just deciding they're going to go to Vegas again and no plan. We don't even have the proper dates because the stadium's booked.
Well, you would think if you're going to go ahead and cancel the one that you've got something else planned, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. When it does get announced, we'll probably get a full story. They'll maybe do another one of those YouTube documentaries on the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
they're fun.
I like the theory that maybe The Rock just went out and spouted that it was going to be in New Orleans and that wasn't decided yet.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I hope we do find out if that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Lastly on the social, PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh on June 30th was to be hosting Friday Night Smackdown. But because the 4th of July is coming up after that, they're going to be hosting 2 shows that night.
Yeah, so SmackDown's going to be taped.
Yeah.
After Raw, which I guess for storyline still works.
Yeah.
But I find that a little bit odd, but no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty interesting. I think anybody attending, because it's 2 shows in one, you're in for a long haul of a night.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah. That's about it. I just thought that was super interesting. And anybody in the Pittsburgh area, if you bought tickets to that, that's a big night at WWE.
Yeah, I would think most people would be excited about it being double venue. I wonder if they're going to charge more for that.
I don't know.
Probably.
We'll have to do some more research.
Probably WWE.
Yeah, it's WWE, guys.
You know how to make your money.
They're into making money.
Yeah, don't we know it?
Yep. And we keep giving them all of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway, peeps, that was it.
Yep. That'll do for this week. We will be seeing you next week.
Check in with our socials. We've been posting lots of vids. We recently went on a day trip to the U.S. We live in Canada, but are not too far from a U.S. border. So we went on a little day trip. And while we were there, we went to a few Walmarts, just checking out what they had for WWE merch, because they usually have some different stuff than we have. And that was pretty fun. We took some videos and we're getting those posted.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that WWE puts out doesn't get released in Canada. So it's nice to go and check out that different market from time to time.
Yeah.
And we were able to get a few cool things. So yeah, check out that video. You can see that on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're also on X, Twitter, YouTube. Basically all of the social medias. You can find us at Poppin' Heat. That's POPNHEAT.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks so much. Check back in with us next week.
Right on. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
First it all seemed like a dream. Hopes of flying